What's up, guys? We're here at AMC Town Square with Chasing Cinema.
Mr. James Hsu.com,
and we're here for part 3. Godzilla,
Yeah.
King of the Monsters.
King of Monsters.
Of this monster universe.
Let's reverse a little bit. Breaking Bad had just come to a conclusion. Bryan Cranston on top of the world.
That's right. That's right. And died.
Insert his new movie, Godzilla. 2014. Going into that movie, I have no real strong affiliation with Godzilla. Yes, I know of the movie. I've seen different variations. I had even seen the 77 Godzilla versus Kong, which is a much, very low budget, type of deal. But no,
you saw the 96, of course, right?
Godzilla? Yeah, with Matthew Broderick. I don't remember much of it though, except that
the Wallflower song.
I just know I remember the egg, the big
Puff
things
Daddy
like all
song?
The eggs. Yeah, Puff Daddy.
Come With Me.
That soundtrack. There's a couple good songs on that album. I remember that was one of the first VHSs I think I owned that had a holographic card on it. When you would move it, yeah. But but I ended up really enjoying that Godzilla movie.
I didn't like that one.
Yeah, you didn't.
Yeah.
We were kind of disagreeing.
Wait, which one?
Godzilla, 2014. No, 2014.
Yeah, I didn't like that
Not
either.
the Matthew Broderick one.
Okay, my problem is this. You can't call something Godzilla and only have 11 minutes of them.
That's true. That was a lot of big criticism, and I agreed with you
but
too.
But the part where you see the blue come up, I was like, ooh, that put her in effect. I was like, oh my gosh! Or as one of our friends would do.
Yeah, and then we folled Kick-Ass, Aaron Taylor Johnson, the entire first movie.
Quicksilver.
Quicksilver. Yeah, and but I thought it was fine. I remember being in good terms with it. Yet never felt the need to rewatch it.
I think I gave that one a 5. Does that sound right? I don't think I was negative about it. It just wasn't like.
I have no recollection. Yeah, I thought I was more like okay. I think I was more on the positive side, but not you.
Yeah.
Yeah,
4.5.
Like what is it? Like I somewhat liked it.
I was 4.5 then, no Godzilla.
And then boom, we have Stranger Things, Millie Bobby Brown.
No, you forgot King Kong.
Oh, we have Kong Skull Island, which I'm a huge where I do have affiliation, where I do have loyalty, is King Kong. 1933 King Kong is in my top probably 10 films of all time.
I don't think
one
I
of
knew
my biggest favorites. Yeah. I was super excited. Even though obviously
I'll probably piss you off. I loved the Peter Jackson Naomi Watts one.
I didn't hate that one. I didn't love that one. It's nowhere near as good as the 1933 version. But
I've never seen it.
Kong obviously changed up the storyline to King Kong and really kind of went to a way different place than we've ever seen with the character. I didn't love it, but again, I thought it was fine. It was a lot more fun than Godzilla. It was a lot more action packed. It felt very different. So when Shu even that we know where we're headed, guys. If you don't know, I talked about it earlier. It's Congress Godzilla is where we're headed.
Which they've already filmed.
They felt like two completely different movies. Like Godzilla and Kong Skull Island do not mesh well. I do not feel like they belong together. Now this movie feels like they are at least getting some kind of cohesiveness and trying to bring the two together.
I think there was like 5 hints. Very subtle.
Yeah.
But there was like 5 little things. Even the ending during the credits, there was this little.
But there's definitely already this big. We're calling 2 of these main characters King now because obviously Kong was referred as King many, many times in Kong Skull Island, and we know him later, obviously to become King Kong. And then Godzilla is now being called the King of Monsters. So we'll see. But also with Godzilla comes many characters that people are fans of, that I don't know much about. But I've heard enough Godzilla fans talk about some of these other characters that Mothra, and such. Yeah.
Not Gyoza. Not a Gyoza.
Ghidorah,
which I love those.
I think it's Ghidorah, if I'm not mistaken. Okay. We knew Mothra.
Sorry.
We've heard of Mothra before.
Yeah.
And obviously we're finally going to get all those characters back in a very CGI impacted movie. So, Godzilla, King of Monsters. Was it the King?
Nah, not for me. For me. No.
Wow.
I think this was again a 5. I'm not negative about it, but
that's weak.
I'm just it was. I won't watch it again. But I didn't watch the other one either. To be honest, well, yeah, I didn't watch it. But where do I start? One, they didn't market at all as things I used in this movie.
Yeah.
Fan of her.
What are the positive surprises?
She's a beautiful woman. Millie Bobby Brown to me. Didn't add
Good for her.
too much. Yeah, I'm glad for her.
Yeah,
you know, and make
that's how
money
I felt.
and
Like, you know,
do your thing.
You do your thing.
Yeah,
you're
hey, better than me.
Yeah, this ain't the franchise that'll make or break it, but you know, get that money, invest in your future.
I'm glad she's in it.
Save for college.
I felt a lot of shaky cam, which not a fan of.
Yeah.
When it was in The Bourne, it was good. When it was in this, not so much.
Yeah.
I felt a lot of the monster scenes. I don't know, why did they have to show it from our point of view? When the monster's out, just let me see them. I don't need to see it from a window with, why?
I think it goes back to kind of what you were saying, like that we have this whole fascination of this kind of documentary style.
No,
like let's try to bring it more into reality.
No, it doesn't help. No, not in this. No, not in this movie. No, you don't need to do that. So
with
there was a lot of those scenes. When we had Godzilla, though, thumbs up. Yeah. That's what takes us from.
We nearly doubled our time slot.
Yeah, it was like
we nearly
25
doubled the
minutes.
screen time.
But Godzilla himself, cute man, a cute dinosaur.
Like, do you care about Godzilla?
I mean, I give it a 5, so probably not.
Yeah.
But I don't know if it's a spoiler, but Atomic Godzilla, was that what that would be? You know what I'm referring to?
I know what you're
Atomic
referring
Godzilla,
to,
so
but
that-
I never
cool.
heard that. I'm assuming that
Ken,
probably is a
is that
thing.
a thing?
Is Atomic Godzilla a thing?
Godzilla, is that a thing?
Okay.
I don't know.
It could be.
I enjoyed that.
If they sell toys, they will call it that.
Oh yes.
Atomic Godzilla.
Mothra, cute. All
I
the
didn't
other
get
ones
the Mothra
didn't know
thing.
any of the names of all the other ones. That there was a pterodactyl that was on fire
They
the whole
called-
time.
Yeah, that, and then
The
they called
three-
the other
three-
Monster Zero. Which
Yeah.
I don't know if they really call them that. Ghidorah.
I'm sorry, but we're gonna get slammed on sure
fandom
with
is
negatives. But
I am curious to see how many. That'd be interesting though. I am kind of curious to see how big the Godzilla fandom is.
I want to see 1,000
Yeah, I wanna see how many-
dislikes. I want 1,000 dislikes. But honestly, yeah. I mean, maybe as you talk, I'll think of things. But it was just okay for me.
No, I agree. So I will say like one interesting thing me and you talked about.
Oh, and I like Ken Watanabe. Didn't like him in this movie.
Yeah. I will say one interesting thing about it, kind of before stepping back a little bit. The marketing of this movie was really interesting because you and I both saw the trailer, and there was definitely intrigue there. It looked like they were going to, like I said, I think they were blending those worlds where Kong was a lot of fun, but also crazy, and the first Godzilla was a bit too stoic. So it looked like it was going to blend the two and give everyone all this crazy monster movie. And you know, being a classic cinema fan, I'm all about like the classic monster movie, but. No, this kind of went more in the direction of...
So this is me and you, trailer 1.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Trailer 2.
Trailer 2, I was like, okay.
Okay.
And it wasn't even the fact that it was the same, it was the same trailer, and the more I looked at it, I was like...
And then trailer 3 came out. Oh no. It's just, I don't know what happened with
And then
us.
you and I, like, I think,
weird.
like, almost by probably February, we were like, yeah, I'm not excited for that anymore. And then, you know...
And now we're in May.
Now the day finally
End of May.
comes, and...
What happened to this year?
I'm watching, and I'm not, like, really disinterested.
No,
but then,
well,
of course,
wasn't.
maybe, like... After
Too much
30,
talking,
35
huh?
minutes, it's not even that. Like, because to me, the worst part of this movie is the third act. Like, that battle sequence and, like, getting everyone to that battle sequence feels like it takes forever, you know? And, like, there's so many spots of Godzilla just popping out of the ground and shooting, you know, the blue flame into the sky. Like, there are just so many of, like, the superhero poses for these monsters. And it just takes forever. Like that whole third beat of us trying to get everyone in the same spot, you know. And then there's the and like, granted, I'm not gonna like get into like the whole Mothra thing because I don't know what's, you know, canon and what's, you know, from back in the day or the source material. But like, I did not get the whole.
Well, one of our friends. The first thing he said as soon as the movie was over was, "They follow the lore. They follow the canon."
Well,
So,
I mean,
guess that's a good thing.
But like to me, like Mothra was like just this being I didn't really understand fully, or you know, like I at least got the three-headed dragon thing, obviously, like regeneration, things like that. I didn't really know much of what Mothra was doing.
You know what's interesting? We are the people right now, from the other point of view, when people are like crying over Star Wars.
Yeah.
And people are like, I don't get it. Who cares? And Marvel films, I don't get it. Who cares? That's what we're being right now.
Yeah, well, that's fair, but I think that a good movie will make me care about them no matter who they are, even if I'm a fan or not, you know, and I think that's important to remember. And like, for me, Godzilla, like, just like you said, I wish I had seen more. In this movie, I got more Godzilla and I didn't care, because I mean, as much as Godzilla is this entity in the movie, he's a plot device. I don't think Godzilla is very much of a character or a presence. Like, I don't get pumped up when Godzilla like makes his return, and I mean, that's basic storytelling, you know, like you know, I mean, just Jurassic Park for some reason is the first one to come into my mind. Like, you know, we all know that good dinosaur is gonna come around that corner, you know, right in the right nick of time. Like, man, I hope there's not a good dinosaur around there. You know, it's just like we already know the formula, and it's not hard to make it interesting and engaging. And this movie managed to just take the soul out of it. I don't know. There's just not much here for me. I agree with you, Millie Bobby Brown. Like, she didn't do anything particular for me. I'm glad to see her do something a little different. Obviously, it's a major franchise.
Do you watch Stranger Things?
I do watch Stranger Things.
Okay.
Not I watched the first season of Stranger Things, but I'm
so
terrible.
You don't watch it.
I'm terrible
2
with
and
TV.
3.
3 isn't out yet.
I thought they're on 4.
Yeah, no, 2's out. So
Okay,
I'm
well, you
gonna
missed
try to
2.
binge watch them all. You see the new Coke coming? They're bringing back
Coke?
new Coke. So yeah, back in the 80s when they introduced new Coke and they were going to their old recipe and it failed and crashed miserably. As a marketing plan for Stranger Things 3, they were bringing back new Coke since it was a big major plot point in
Have you ever had
Stranger
it?
Things 3. No, it lived and died way before I was around.
Why did I? It doesn't taste...
No, just going back to the recipe, it just sounded weird. I don't know. It's weird. And
Cocaina?
well, no, but that was like a big thing of it too, because everyone's like really like
That wasn't
worried
that the
about
original
it.
one? Had a little bit of cocaina?
Yeah. So anyway,
When does that come back? Coke?
I think the first shipment is the first week of June.
Ooh,
so
my diet
I would
ends
imagine
at end of June. I'm gonna try one.
Yeah, I would imagine if I know anything about soda, which I kind of tend to do, if it ships on Friday, you'll probably see it in supermarkets like on Tuesday. So
The more you know.
depending on where, I don't know exactly where. You know, sometimes we're lucky and they send so many shipments, or other times like you can't even find them. So we'll find out.
We'll have to eBay
like those
it.
the Game of Thrones Oreos, I never found them. But anyway, Vera Farmiga, like everyone was just fine in this movie, and like you said, kind of, you know, he did the same thing he's done in all of these movies, where he just says those quotable lines that we could use in the trailer, and like he doesn't even seem like he's really into it anymore. He just feels like he's burdened to play this role of the wise old Asian man. And there's even this like horrible line in the movie where he says something wise, like the same kind of stuff that he says throughout the entire movie, and then this time he goes, oh no, I got that from a fortune cookie. Like, oh, he's not really that smart, that's the joke here. Like, okay. And then like I said, the fighting sequences were slow, they were boring. I think you're right. I think I think someone really needs to change up the game in how major action sequences that deal with monstrous sized creatures need to change. Like the way the Transformer fights are shot, the way that these monster movies are
very
shot.
Transformers, yes.
It felt very Transformers.
Yes.
And it's so...
No humans, man. I want
It's
Godzilla.
incredibly difficult when you have characters that literally fill up the screen. Like you have a shot of a close-up of Godzilla's head at one point in the movie. He literally takes up the size of the screen. Yet you can't manage to put them to clear enough on screen to see what's going on in a fight. I don't think it's hard to follow, but because they're so slow, but I mean, it's just not engaging. Where I think it would be kind of interesting to be in that monstrous point of view, actually. And that would have been at least different and stylish, but they don't go that way. It just feels very formulaic and...
Just no more from the human's point of view. I'm
Yeah.
done with that.
And then...
Let me see the monsters.
Then, we're gonna get into some spoilers real quick. I want to talk about the end credit beat, because like the biggest miss of this movie is like not even teasing Kong.
And for those that don't know...
I mean, don't get me wrong, there are little things that tease Kong, but nothing significant enough to be like, okay, that's where we're going now, you know?
And the thing that I think is gonna... which is scary for Universal...
Yeah.
is they've already finished filming Kong versus... They've already finished all that. I'm sure they haven't done all the CG work.
Yeah.
I already know for a fact they haven't done all the CG work, but it's kind of scary because at this point, there is no point of no return. You just have to make it. There is no not coming out with it at this point because they've already done all that. And I'm kind of interested to see what happens with this movie, because the first one, at least for my circle, wasn't received
very well.
Very well. And then this one is rotten already on Rotten Tomatoes. Not like that is... I mean, that doesn't help though. And then...
Well, I mean, from what it seems like, early predictions are like, Godzilla's gonna destroy, and I'm like, really? Is Godzilla gonna destroy? Like, are people that into it? And because like, the people that I've talked to, at least interacted with, because people know what I do, they always come up to me and ask me about things, they've asked me about, you know, other movies. They've asked me about Rocket Man, a movie that we reviewed this week, and the biopic about Elton John, so make sure to go check out that review. And
people be asking about Ma.
Yeah, a lot of people asked about Ma, which unfortunately I missed this week, and I'm really excited to see. And this one is just, I don't think has that interest. But
did we have more people than you thought we would though?
Yeah, we did.
Yeah, I did too, actually. So
that's fair.
That's encouraging.
Yeah, that is encouraging. So maybe there is that lore fan out there. Yeah. And before we wrap this up real quick, in the fight, between Godzilla and King Kong. Do you veer one way or the other?
Oh yes.
Oh, you.
Oh yes. King Kong.
Okay,
I
good.
need King Kong, but
Wow,
but
you and I on the same side for
But
once.
I'm assuming that's.
They're
Kent
well,
has
no,
a
yeah,
very,
no.
I think Kent actually.
Well, we talked about
gave me the whole
it's
summary
very,
of the
it's
third
very,
movie
it's
already.
very, it's very Batman v Superman. You know?
Yes,
it's
yes, 'cause they're both good-
Yeah, because
good guys. Well,
because
they are
they
good
don't
guys.
have, you know, obviously, even in the movies that we got, you know, when even as far as you know, Kong versus, you know, we never ever really pick a winner. From Freddy versus Jason to Frankenstein versus Dracula, we never ever really pick a winner because you never want to side with
But
one
I just love
audience over
King
the
Kong.
others.
But I
do
love
too.
King Kong because of Naomi Watts. Being
Oh
honest with you, bro.
my God.
You know me, bro. I'm just being honest with you, bro. Come on, the way he saved her.
So, but I'm just curious. So, like, when now we pick up this movie from what I remember, but I don't really remember Godzilla very well, with completely new characters, a completely new, you know, besides Ken Watanabe and the organization that we deal with, all new
What are they called
characters.
again?
I don't remember. That's why I called it the organization.
Yeah.
Hydra? No.
No, that's
Yeah,
Captain
Hydra.
America.
Well, no, but Hydra is a character in this, right? Hydra is an element or a monster in this, no?
No, Hydra's from Captain America.
No, I know Hydra's from Captain America, but isn't Hydra the name of that dragon?
Well, they called it a Hydra,
the-
but it's not one.
Oh, they
this
called
is
it a Hydra.
Oh, did
So
they?
yeah,
Hydra's seven heads though.
and then you know, like I'm just curious, like who takes us into the Godzilla storyline? Like, do we keep following Millie Bobby Brown and those characters? Do we bring back Brie Larson and?
No, that one happened like, or it wouldn't be
Years,
Brie
years,
Larson
years.
though.
Yeah, yeah.
Not even years. This happened decades.
Like
Okay.
40s.
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
like, so she would be like 67, 80 years old. So I'm sure it won't be Brie Larson, but they also
you don't
said,
know if we follow.
I don't even know if this matters to you, but when we met King Kong in that one, he was still a baby. They said. 'Cause-
Yes.
So
'Cause he's
when
gotta
we
grow,
see him,
right?
yeah, he's gonna be just as big as.
That's right. I remember you
He's
saying
gonna be
that.
just as big as Godzilla,
Godzilla.
which I'm very
I'm
interested
curious.
in seeing that. I am very interested in seeing.
And then I guess what else do you do with all the other monsters that we're left with?
Yeah, I was gonna say. So because he's the king, and does he say,
Like, is he getting too
"Don't
much,
kill humans"?
Yeah,
and
like,
do
is
they
he
all
get-
go back into hibernation,
or does he like take too much power and he's like,
Ken,
you know
do
what, forget that?
Do they go back in
I don't know.
hibernation, or what is
I
that?
don't remember. I mean,
Like, did Godzilla always, or yeah, did he always have a gang of peeps?
I don't remember.
Because like I thought those were all his enemies essentially.
they were enemies, but I
But no,
don't
but
remember
they,
this part.
they were saying.
But at the end,
yeah,
no,
he is
I
the
get that.
alpha.
Yeah. But that's what I'm saying. Like, then what do you do now? Like, does Kong just take them all out, or what exactly? Or does like it all get to Godzilla's head and then he becomes like a bad king,
think
and
he
then
becomes-
Godzilla's like,
I
I
think he becomes
gotta,
bad.
I gotta restore it.
I
Yeah.
think he became bad. I can't
Who?
remember Godzilla.
Oh,
'Cause
damn.
Godzilla
Yeah, but
was
you
never,
like you said,
then
it's gonna
King Kong
it's gonna
puts
do
him in.
Batman versus Superman.
Yeah, because
it's-
Godzilla's never good. You know, there's a couple movies where he's actually a villain.
I did think it was interesting that they kept going to like they kept trying to keep the atomic bomb an element of Godzilla, and I just I mean obviously Godzilla a long time ago was made as an analogy to talk about the destruction of Hiroshima and the dropping of the bombs and things like that, and they try to keep that relevant here, and it just feels more like, oh, we got to throw it in there for the sake of throwing it in there for like Godzilla lore, but it doesn't feel like this movie has as much to say like the original Godzilla. As you could watch that movie and you could call it campy and you could call it old, but like that movie was meant to to really talk about something really, really important, where this movie feels like not important at all.
Oh, they had
it's just a lot of computer
They
stuff.
had the little scene of how humans destroy the ocean with plastic.
Yeah, that's true. If anything, it's just it's more the environment kind of
They
thing,
did have that
you
scene.
which you could do. And I know when man, killing all the seals and all the fish in that one scene. That to me was an interesting thing where like they came out of the woodwork where like, we got an oxygen destroyer, bro. We're just gonna destroy oxygen for a little bit, and then like it just comes out of nowhere. It happens, and like we never go back to like this whole thing until I guess the very end. But I was just like, whoa, yeah, not so good. Go check out our review of Rocket Man though.
Available now.
Next week.
Sophia Turner, Game of Thrones, and
The
James
number, what in the X-Men?
probably like 13.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
unfortunately, it's
7 or 8.
out of
9.
every X-Men to ever come out, and this being the last one under the helm of 20th
Yeah,
Century
I was gonna say the
it is
last.
It is tracking as the lowest debut ever.
It was
which is a
pushed
shame.
back like 3 times, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a shame.
So we'll see.
And Disney just announced they are moving forward with New Mutants to do reshoots with Maisie Williams of Game of Thrones also.
Well,
But anyway,
we can only hope.
The Dark Phoenix returns, and will it be a rehash of X-Men 3? I certainly hope not, because that was my least favorite of them all.
Yeah, I don't think you're wrong there.
You don't kill Patrick Stewart, okay? You should have told me theater, bro. We didn't know each other back then.
No, we did not.
I was genuinely pissed.
Yeah, he was not happy.
I was genuine, like, you don't do that, dude. I'm getting upset again.
That was one of my first like movie reviews. I actually took. I was in high school broadcast, so I took a camera and a mic because we always had to use mics like professional broadcasting. I went to the 12 o'clock showing at Green Valley Ranch, and at 2:30 a.m. I had my mom and my buddy set up my Triocam and filmed outside of Green Valley Ranch.
So good.
And then was kicked out by security.
So good.
So good memories, but yeah, I remember that movie being really awful.
What are you expecting out of Dark Phoenix?
I have no.
Interesting, they
no
didn't even call this the next movie.
To be honest, I don't even know if I've seen a trailer or anything.
Really?
Like, that's how much I've not even
they've done
avoided.
a lot.
Yeah, I mean,
honestly, too, and
you know
me and
though.
you are both fans of Jennifer Lawrence. Get her out of this. She's not good as Mystique.
no. Oh,
She's
I
not
mean,
Rebecca Romijn. Just saying. And I love Jennifer Lawrence.
Honestly, it does feel. I hate to be that guy, but it kind of just feels like we need to start fresh.
No, but even the makeup doesn't look good to me.
No, I know, that's what I'm saying. I just think the whole franchise needs to be started fresh. So,
yes.
As much as I'm like not crazy about like Disney owning almost half of Hollywood,
That annoys me that you even say that.
it's true.
You're annoying.
No, just the more that one person owns anything, the harder it is for other things.
Hey, they know what they're doing, and I'm so glad.
I'm not going to disagree with you on that.
I'm so glad that Kevin Feige said we're gonna take a 5-year break, and you ain't gonna see none. I'm glad.
Yeah.
So when we see him again, hopefully, he'll be fresh.
Well, we're not even talking about those. I mean, I'm talking about the X-Men, who've needed a reboot for a long time.
Yes.
So I'm
5 years
we'll
minimum.
See.
But anyway, it'll be interesting to see how they bring him into the MCU. Another subject for another time. Next week, if you're interested, comment below.
This is
let
their
us know.
roof Godzilla. I forgot.
Yeah.
Next week, Dark Phoenix here at AMC Town Square at 10 o'clock. Make sure to text this guy at
702-348-5618.
or comment below because we want you to join us because even if the movie's good or not, it's always a fun time here at AMC Town Square.
This is true.
Always a blast.
ChaseZimmer.com is known as
The Film Lovers website.